Hey people. So, this is going to be wildly off topic, but I just saw a documentary that I've heard about for a while. And after the whole Lacey Green thing, who I've both praised and praised on this channel for her BDSM 101 video. And I've had personal problems with a lot of how she has conducted herself in the recent years. She recently came out as somebody who did something which I think is massively underrated. And that is the simple concept of talking to people. She received massive amounts of hate, massive amounts of backlash. Because how dare she talk to somebody who's anti-feminist? How dare she talk to somebody who's, a MGTOW or, an MRA? How dare she do that? How dare she starts, becomes friends with and starts dating Chris Reagan? How dare she? The patheticness of that argument is astounding to me. Lacey Green is a human. She has the right to do what she wants. And what she decided to do is what the person who did the documentary, The Red Pill, did. Which is, she started from a very extreme feminist point of view and decided to talk to the other side. If you have not seen this documentary, go see it. Seek it out. Right now, it's on Amazon. If you have a Prime account like I do, you can watch it for free. It's a hour and 57-minute video. It came out, literally this year. And its IMDb score is an 8.8 out of 10. So, it's not bad. I watched this thing, kind of knowing what I was getting into. When I got out of this thing, none of my opinions have changed. None of my beliefs have changed. Except for one. And that is something that I never thought I would actually change my opinion on. And that is circumcision. Yeah, you know what I mean. As somebody who had one as a baby, it was never something I thought about. But I had never seen the procedure. I had never seen what it could possibly do and the damage it could possibly cause. I have very much changed my mind on the subject. I am now somebody who believes that, no, it's a bad idea. And if I am lucky enough to have children in the future and one of them happens to be a boy, I am going to say no to that. It's been just a thing in my family that's something that's been done. I'm not going to let that happen, and if I happen to have kids. But the thing about it is, this documentary, whether you are, wherever you stand on the political spectrum when it comes to men's rights activism or on feminist activism, go watch this film. What you'll come away with is a sense of we're doing it all wrong. We are. We are doing it all wrong. Both sides are not talking to each other. They're blaming each other. Men's rights activists are blaming women. Women are blaming men. Blah, blah, blah. But the reality is it's the system that's at fault, not the men and not the women. I think that this is one of the reasons why I never agreed with the men's rights activist and why I've never called myself a feminist. I've always called myself a humanist. My belief is very simple. We are all people. Regardless of what position you choose, inside of the community that I'm involved with or outside of the community I'm involved with, it doesn't matter. We are all humans. You need to be honest and truthful, and you need to be real about who you are and what you are. And then once you get to that point, and then you decide you want to do like what I do, or you want to be like with the person that I'm going to be with this weekend, you want to be what she's going to be, great. She considers herself a feminist. I have absolutely no issue with her being a feminist. Again, the vast majority of the issues with a feminist about equal pay for equal work, I believe that. But a lot of times the second part of that is left out. It's equal pay, not equal pay for equal work. This is where my issue is. As somebody who works in a location with both men and women, there's women there that make more than me. There's men there that make less than me. It's called reality. And the bottom line is, I don't care who you are. Be real about who you are and what you are. This documentary, if you want to say, figure out a point of view that, fits with what I believe that this community that I belong in, the BDSM, kink, fetish community, should be, is that middle ground that says we see the world for what it is, not what we wish it to be. Because inside of our community, we have both dominant men and dominant women, submissive women and submissive men. We have transgender, we have gay, we have lesbian, we have everywhere in between. We have asexuals, we have people who are all over the spectrum. People who, I don't consider myself completely straight. I consider myself heteroflexible. I have a thing for transgender women. It's it's one of my kinks. And the thing about it is that inside of my community, this is all fine. Outside of the community, depending on what group I'm talking to, I'm either the devil or I'm a hero. And depending on what part of my life I happen to be talking about, could change that perspective. To a lot of the feminist community, I'm the villain because I'm a male dominant. To the MRA community, I'm a hero because I'm a male dominant. But then when I say, oh yeah, by the way, I'm not completely straight, suddenly this group over here thinks, oh, you're a good guy because you know what, you kind of get all these other aspects. And the group over here, oh no, you're not a real man because you didn't. Here's the reality. Neither of these groups get it. Neither of these groups understand it. And especially because they don't talk to each other. And the reality is that the MRAs of the world are willing to talk. The feminists of the world aren't. I believe in equality across the board. I believe that every law should be written as gender neutral. One of the issues that was brought up in here, which is right here for me, is that I am, and I have made this very clear, in past videos, I am a victim of domestic violence. Let me repeat that. I am a victim of domestic violence. I am not the perpetrator of domestic violence. One time in my life did I go over the edge, and that was because I was pushed so far that the only way I could deal with that situation in the moment is that I reacted. It was in a toxic relationship where both of us were not good. But I had to escape it because of how much violence I was getting from that relationship as well. So you know what? Anybody who says domestic violence is a women's issue belittles men like me. They deal with that in this. They talk about it in this. I'm absolutely... I cannot recommend this movie any higher. Go watch this movie. Like I said, if you don't have an Amazon Prime account, find another way of watching this movie. It's going to be absolutely worth your time. That's it for now. Be well and safe.